Look at my ninja.
Oh, what the hell are you calling for at this hour?
With the massive tower rework this week, why don't we make a towers tier list?
That doesn't sound too shabby.
Alright, I'll share my screen so we can discuss this.
Hey EXO, why don't you have a voice?
Fuck you, you asshat. Just wait until I get my very own voice actor.
Can both of you numbnuts shut up and get to the tier list?
First on the list is the Ace Pilot.
Okay, this is an easy A tier. Ace Pilot has very strategic mechanics and good DPS.
Yeah, but it's more fitting in B tier because of its annoying circular motion.
Is your dumbass still living in 2021? You can adjust its flight path and even reverse direction.
That has gotta be fake news. Since when?
Since the tower rework you mentioned, do you have amnesia?
Shut the hell up, you humanoid adults. At least I have a voice actor.
Oh, data expunged you dunderhead. Also, I'm binary, not bolts.
He dodged you there, narrator.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, a tier I guess.
Commando is next in line.
I believe it's B tier. The rocket ability has a long cooldown, and the cost is really expensive, despite the good DPS and potential for missile stack.
You're not looking at the full picture. Commando has really good pierce and it makes up for its cost. If you use your brain cells and position it strategically, then you can focus on farming to pay the expenses.
I agree with Umbra on that, but we have to mention that the missile stack isn't permanent and will eventually despawn.
I'm persuaded by your arguments, but I'm more inclined to place it in B. It's good, however other towers may hinder the best case scenario, and Commando isn't very high in DPS. It has good crowd control, but relies too heavily on others. Thus, I believe it's sub-BPS and more B tier.
Okay, B tier it is.
Crook Boss is an easy A tier. If you disagree, then you're just retarded. The DPS is crazy when you place all 5 of them, and that's not including the units.
Narrator, I think you're the retard here. This isn't Golden Crook Boss, so the DPS is less. Also, the DPS is inconsistent as units may stack or not, and the spawn timer takes a long time. It's not good to rely on it so much, and you have much better options.
Shut the fuck up, you metal jacket infidel. At least my dialogue has meaning, and my tips aren't absolute dog shit.
Can both of you morons shut up and focus on the topic at hand?
See, Commander? I'm more agreeable.
Don't get your mouth running, narrator. I'm especially talking to you. I'm convinced your mind hasn't upgraded since 2021. Commander's dialogue has been reworked and aren't so shit. Also, let's not forget the disaster of Act 3.
Yeah, you knuckleheads won't stop bickering over nonsense. Nobody has really presented an argument for Crook Boss, so let's compromise with a B tier.
Thoughts on Cyromancer?
I think it's C tier. It can slow crowds and give the chill effect. Also, it can also freeze multiple enemies if they're attacked for long enough.
Not as bad because the DPS is complete ass.
Narrator, you sound like a toddler whining in TDS discussion over a tower with bad DPS. Not everything is about DPS, and sometimes they adjust for support.
Literally, all this guy talks about is DPS, DPS, DPS.
This guy's script from later Overture made him so egotistical that he thinks he runs the place. Whatever happened to the enigmatic and nonchalant narrator from 2020?
I have to agree. This guy never shuts the fuck up in the IDE about how omniscient he is, how he exploits his employees, and his scripts. Now here he is acting like a mafia boss.
He chose to be silent. Looks like someone didn't learn from Cody Co. Anyways, I guess Cyromancer is a C tier.
Okay, accelerating time. Get it? Because the next tower we're ranking is Accelerator?
The fact you had to explain the joke is depressing.
I've got to agree with narrator for once. Commander, that was just sad.
Shut the freak up.
Anyways, the Accelerator has really good DPS and decent range. However, the price and the charge-up mechanic balance it down to an A tier.
Hold your horses. The massive DPS, and especially if you place down all 8 accelerators, then it makes up for the cost.
Here we go again with the DPS shenanigans. Accelerator has no immunity and the charge-up resets when Excel is stunned. It's A tier.
It's A tier then, I guess.
Next is Demoman. Does anyone here even know what Demoman is used for?
Nah, that shit has been irrelevant since 2023, or even when John Roblox made that video in 2021.
Yeah, I have no clue. I've never heard anyone mention it for over a year at this point. Not even from newer players nor in beginner tips.
Demoman is as useful as diet water. He lost hidden detection and his splash is worse than paintballer. Easy F tier.
Okay, well, how about Electroshocker? That tower seems to have some relevance at least.
The shot chain and the stun lasting a long time can surely help. However, it isn't that good as it's a support tower, so it's C tier.
The damage is also really good for a price not too high, and if you place enough it remedies the 2.5 second cooldown issue.
Sounds like a C tier then.
Executioner. I can see this one getting a C.
A raise?
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite hear you.
You heard me. A raise.
Oh hey look, there's Umbra, our third.
I muted
Wait.
his ass before he could finish that atrocity.
Where?
EXO. What the fuck? Alright, you know what? I'm logging off. I have better things to do and this isn't going too well, so perhaps we'll get a better result tomorrow.
Well, that was something. I guess I'm leaving too.
Well, narrator is still muted, and I guess I'll leave too.